they're not built that good. Oh, it's a mobile home. It's not that nice construction. And I think that's a misconception because a manufactured house is built in a factory without any weather conditions, using the same process over and over and over again. And so versus a site built house, which is built out in the weather, maybe without the same process over and over again. And for 9 months, you have rain that's hitting it, or snow, or sleet, or wind, or whatever it may be. Versus a manufactured house is built inside in a factory using very rigid process and strategy. So we believe that they're actually a lot better than a site built house.
How much is it to join your program?
Yeah, so we have a lot of different options, and it's really tailored to the specific individual and their goals. So whether it be, hey, I just want to give me a workbook, right, and let me learn from that, or let me just have the course, or maybe I just need one-on-one coaching. And so it's a wide variety, and it really depends on each person,
Awesome.
and kind of what their end goals are.
Awesome. Well, that's good that you tailor it to different people based on what they need and how they learn, because that's important. Some people just like to sit with a book and figure it out, and other people like to talk through it. I'm one of those talkers, in case you didn't know. So, well, that's awesome. So let's move on to the next question. What are some misconceptions about mobile home investing? I kind of know a little bit about this answer but from a little bit of a different perspective. So we actually invested passively in a mobile home park syndication, and it it didn't seem sexy to a lot of people. And they were like, mobile home parks, why would you want to invest in that? So I got a lot of, lower eyebrows, like, why would you do something like that? Or you're investing in the ghetto. So I heard all of these different things when I brought up this mobile home park passive investment opportunity. So share what some additional common misconceptions about them.
Yeah. I mean, I think a lot of the misconceptions are similar to what you mentioned. When I started my very first mobile home park, I didn't know anything about mobile home parks, but I knew about affordable housing. So I said, okay, I can do this, right? Well, that first day that I needed to walk through the mobile home park and collect rent and introduce myself, I was walking around with the maintenance guy, and he's like, "Why are you scared?" I was like, "I've never done this before." And my misconception was, man, this is a dangerous place. This was in a mill area. There was a lot of drug activity. There was there was a lot of stuff going on in the general area. Well, what I found out, and that was my concept, that's what I thought, right? And I
Yeah.
was truly scared, and I don't own any guns or anything, but maybe I should have, just given my fear. But that being said, I went around, I met the tenants, I met the residents, had conversations with them. And you know what I found out is they're just like me and you. They want a good roof over their head. They want somebody that when their water heater breaks, it's fixed. If they have a problem, it's fixed, right? And if you do that and you take care of people, then really at the end of the day, they're just like us. And maybe financially they don't have the same resources that me and you have. But that being said, they're good people and nice people and hard workers. Of course, are there bad apples? Yeah, there's definitely bad apples that you face, but I'm sure you face that in your regular houses, right? And even
Yeah.
in a 250, $300,000 house, you're probably going to face that every once in a while. But I'd,
Yeah.
I'd say that's the biggest misconception. The other one is that mobile homes don't appreciate, which is false. You look at what were people paying 10 years ago for a mobile home on land versus what they're paying today. 10 years ago, you probably could have bought what we're selling for $75,000. Today, we're selling it for 225,000. So for
Yeah.
sure, it does appreciate, and there's going to be growth in value over the long term.
Yeah.
And then the last one I would say is the third one. Sorry, the third one I would just conclude with is that they're not built that good. Oh, it's a mobile home. It's not that nice construction. And I think that's a misconception because a manufactured house is built in a factory without any weather conditions, using the same process over and over and over again. And so versus a site built house, which is built out in the weather, maybe without the same process over and over again. And for 9 months, you have rain that's hitting it, or snow, or sleet, or wind, or whatever it may be. Versus a manufactured house is built inside in a factory using very rigid process and strategy. So we believe that they're actually a lot better than a site built house.
Yeah, I love that. And it's good to bring those things up. So one of our business strategies in the syndication that we were involved with, it was Our expense ratio was at 80%. We owned all the homes, and they were older homes, and they were deteriorating. So of course, hence the high expenses, operating expenses. So you would think that trying to pitch or trying to sell one of the tenants, hey, do you want to own this home? You think that that would be a hard sell if these trailers are from 1970, 1980. And actually, we're about a year and a half ahead of schedule with selling those homes,
That's great.
even at the age of being built in the 1970s or 1980s. So I thought that that was going to be an uphill battle, but really it wasn't. I think the folks in there, want to have home ownership, that label kind of under their belt,
Yep.
and want to have
Yep.
something that says, hey, this is mine. So I was really shocked to see the movement from park owned homes, which are homes that we owned, to move them over to tenant owned homes, which brings us to the other thing is, how can you make it attractive for, these tenants to actually want to buy your home? So we work with them to make that attractive and to not make it such a burden by asking for a large down payment or so on and so forth. So, anyways, I see that there is value in mobile home parks. And even though some of these 70 and 80 ones look pretty rough, people were still willing to want to buy them and own
Right.
them and maintain them.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%. So many people just want the opportunity to have home ownership, right? And you're giving them that opportunity that maybe they never thought they could have.
Yep. Yep. That's awesome. All right. Next one. How do you structure win-win deals with private lenders? And maybe you can explain what you mean with when you say private lenders too.
Yeah, for sure. That's a great question. As we're completing these projects, of course, these projects need to be funded, and there's lots of different ways that we can fund land home development as the investor. So we're typically partnering with either banks, hard money, or private lenders, which really are private individuals like me and you that um, maybe they have some money in stocks, or maybe they have some money in a savings account or a checkings account, and they're simply looking to have some diversification. And so for us, what we do is we partner with private individuals or private lenders on these projects. Typically, our lenders are loaning 150 to $200,000 for a single project, and that will get us through buying the house, buying the land, all the development. And what we do is we structure that as a 6-month loan, 6 to 9 months, depending on the season, but 6 to 9 month loan with the lender, and we pay an interest rate based on that loan. And the lender is secured by the note and mortgage against the home and the land, and so that's a win for them. The other
Yeah.
way they win is through the interest rate. And so they get paid an interest rate based on how long the money is out. Um, and yeah, so that's the way we work with the lenders. It gives them an opportunity to diversify beyond the stock market,
Yeah.
beyond, maybe they've got some money in the savings account that's earning 4%, and we can pay quite a bit more. I love, personally, of course I'm biased, but I love it because the land home packages the margins are really good on them. So it's a very safe investment from a standpoint of, hey, what happens if this doesn't sell, or what happens, a lot of different scenarios. Well, at the end of the day, we've got margin to protect against that, and allows for a safe return.
Yeah. That margin to account for those crap moments is extremely important when choosing where you want to put your money. So yeah, no,
Yeah,
I get
100%.
it. I get it as well.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Cool. So let's end this with a little bit more of a personal note. So, how does faith influence your approach to investing and building legacy? Great way to end the podcast.
Yeah, I mean, for me, personally, I'm a Christian, and as I operate day in and day out, I'm operating upon the beliefs of my faith, and as you would expect a Christian to operate. That being said, as I was operating, I've been doing this several years now, but last year I really started thinking to myself, I'm like, what could there be a bigger purpose? My hope is that we interact together, and have a relationship working together, or as a subcontractor, or as a lender, or a a business partner, however that may be, that you would know that I was Christian just by the way that I act. That being said, I thought to myself last year, I'm like, is there a bigger way that I can operate? For whether it be with our subcontractors or, if we talk specifically about the buyers of these homes, this is a very big moment for most of these buyers. It's 95% of the homes that we sell, we're selling to a first time homeowner. And, it's your first time to have home ownership. You're likely, maybe you just got married or maybe you have kids and you're moving into a new home that's yours. And so my thought was, how do I make that even more special? And how do we, with my vision or mission of like, can I show God's love through affordable housing? And it's something that's still working on, to be honest. It's like, what's that? What is that thing, or what is that offer of service that I can do? I don't know the exact right answer just yet. Whether that be something at the closing table, or maybe it's something that I do for them, when they move into the house or whatever it may be. But, that's what I'm trying to do, every day, trying to get better,
Sure.
trying to keep improving on that mission. But, my hope is, by mid 2026 into 2026, we've got a real good, hey, here's all the different moments that we can impact and we can touch people throughout the process. And again, whether that's to be my subcontractor, maybe it's the seller of the land that I'm buying from. There's lots of different people that we work with through the process.
Love it. Love it. So we'll definitely have to stay in touch and collaborate
Yeah,
on
we do an
this
update.
front. On this front, because our mission statement at Mooreland Equity Capital is to provide tenants living in C-class areas with an A-class experience.
Love that.
So when people go, whoa, so like, what does that mean? It means that we answer the phone. It means when somebody says, hey, my heat's not working, we send somebody out immediately or the next day. We treat people with respect, even though the misconception is that a lot of folks that are on voucher packages or their rent's getting paid by somebody else, that they're less of a human. So I think we have a bigger vision too as to what our larger impact will be, and how we can just continue to bless the folks around us. So that's been something that's constantly on our mind, but we're so in the trenches right now that we don't have a chance to like get out of there and say, okay, what is the bigger purpose? So maybe it's starting a nonprofit. So that could be something
That's cool.
that you may want to do, right? It works for you
Yeah.
from a perspective. It continues on other things that you're doing, but I often think about like what's the bigger purpose, and where are we ultimately going to land when we get to our destination. So,
Yeah. Love it.
well, that's awesome. Well, hey Robert, if folks want to hear more about the program that you have to offer, want to get in touch with you and talk about this topic, how do they find you?
Yeah. Just my personal cell phone's fine. My number is 864-293-2798. And just feel free to reach out, send me a text or give me a call. Happy to have a conversation at any time. And quite honestly, whether you join our education program, we would love that, of course. Or if you just want to have a conversation about land home development or affordable housing or mobile home parks, happy to do that.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much, Robert, for all your knowledge. I personally learned a ton today, and you've got some new thoughts in my head about how I can diversify into manufactured homes. So really appreciate you being here today. And definitely let's stay connected.
All right. Thank you so much for having me.
All right. Thanks, Robert. Bye-bye.
Jacqueline and Melvin, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day to listen to this episode of Get Diversified. Please make sure to subscribe to our podcast so you don't miss out on future episodes. Finally, stop by our website and follow us on social media. Ciao for now. Make it a great day, and we'll see you next time. And remember, get diversified.